All right, Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakakwadash. Yahweh is the true, holy, and powerful name of the Heavenly Father. Bahashem meaning in the name. Yahweh Shai is the true, holy, and powerful name of His only begotten Son, who is the Savior of the nation of Israel, starting off with the elect within the nation of Israel. And Israel consists of you so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, as well as you Israelite foreigners scattered abroad that may look like the nations where you've been scattered to, but are Israelites. And I also want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect, pushing out this word in all sincerity and the truth. All right, this is the brother you call from the GMS branch out in Des Moines, Iowa, coming back at you with another lesson inspired by the Holy Spirit, Harakak Wadash. And I want to go into a quick lesson, going really into the mark of the beast. All right, because these different things that are being done with the machinations and different proofs of receiving of the machinations and so on and so forth are all preludes to the mark of the beast, all right, being implemented and rolled out throughout society. All right, this is really a mass practice run for what they ultimately want to do, which is to vaccinate the entire population. All right, and let me go ahead and grab this in the book of 2 Corinthians. All right, this is the book of 2 Corinthians 2:11. It says, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. Now, who is speaking of Esau Edom, the so-called white man, and he has a lot of things that he's doing. But to those that have the eye salve, to those that are in this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, we already see what they're doing, all right, what they're trying to implement. And we are ignorant of these things. All right, let me back up a point I just made. This is the book of Second Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 8. It says, and then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan. So there's a particular group of people who the spiritual demon Satan is working through. All right, just like we are vessels unto righteousness to do the good works of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, well, the Lord has his vessels on the left-hand side, all right, to do his work on the left-hand side. All right, and that's Esau Edom that's implementing these things. Okay, so we are ignorant of the things that he's trying to bring to pass. All right, and I want to grab one more precept before going into this clip. This is the book of Micah chapter 2 and verse 1. It says, woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hands. So like I mentioned, this is really a practice run. All right, seeing how people are going to respond to getting these machinations, okay, how they're going to respond to getting these IDs and so on and so forth to prove that you received it. Okay, how people are going to respond when they get ostracized from society by not receiving of these things, because the narrative that's being pushed out is that if you don't, the government is claiming that they are going to force people to get these vaccinations, right? But these major companies, they can institute and say that you can't work for us, or you can't get any of our goods or come to any of our facilities where we sell our goods, or whatever the case may be, without getting of these things. All right, so these businesses are in line with the government to bring forth, all right, his plans, his devices. Okay, so I'm gonna play this clip. I'm only gonna play a minute of it, all right, and jump into some more precepts. All right, so this is from RT News. RT, it says special ID cards one step away from mandatory vaccination. Okay.
The UK is also poised to start mass vaccinations, and in Wales, plans have been unveiled to issue special ID cards for those getting the jab. The personal immunisation IDs will include the maker of the vaccine, the date received, and the batch number, and it will also be used as a reference and a reminder for the second jab with All
right, now keep that in mind. The information that is going to be on these ID cards, all right? They said that it's going to be the maker of the vaccination, when it was administered. Well, let me just play it back like 10 more seconds. All right, because this is key, because we're going to read this in the scriptures. All right.
Vaccination IDs will include the maker of the vaccine, the date received, and the batch number.
Right, the maker of the vaccine. All right, the date it received, it was received in the batch number. So all this information is going to be on this ID card, but all this information is going to be transferred to an RFID chip, which is the mark of the beast. So right now they're rolling out these ID cards for proof of it, but it's only going to be a prelude to the actual mark of the beast, which is going to carry all this information, which we're going to read that when we go into some of these words. And when we look up the word mark in Revelation 13 and 16, all right, when we go into the etymology of the word mark. But let's keep playing this clip here.
Used as a reference and a reminder for the second jab, with guidelines in case there are any side effects. However, despite officials assuring the public that vaccinations won't be made mandatory, the ID plans have made some people uneasy.
I'm very worried about the system of ID cards to be given to those who have had COVID vaccine in Wales, one step away from mandatory vaccination.
If Wales doesn't plan to exclude unvaccinated from society, why do they need ID cards for those who took it?
I'm definitely no anti-vaxxer, but something about the ID cards Wales plans on using is wrong. People have free choice and shouldn't be pressured into doing anything to their bodies they don't want to.
Well, the official overseeing the vaccine rollout in England has admitted that, while it's not obligatory, there could be societal pressure to have it. We discussed the issue with a panel of guests.
Right, so that's what they're doing. They're creating an environment where societal pressure, all right, to receive of these things. All right, they're pretty much, this is a siege that's being done, meaning that they're cutting off the resources and access to certain things, all right, to make you yield, all right, to the New World Order, to make you yield to the image of the beast. All right, that's what a siege is, man. And I always like going into this word siege. So let's just look it up real quick, because a global siege is being done upon the people. Now, looking up the word siege, it says a military operation in which enemy forces surround a town or building, cutting off essential supplies with the aim of compelling the surrender of those inside. So they're cutting off supplies and access to these things with the aim to what? To make people surrender to doing what? To getting the jab. All right, that's what I should have been using. Getting the jab. That word, that term there, but receiving that and ultimately receiving of the RFID chip, which is the mark of the beast. So let's read the prophecy. This is Revelation chapter 13 and 16. And he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell. So that's where you get ostracized. Okay, well, you can't buy, you can't sell. All right, you can't go to any venues. You can't go to the store. You can't do this. You can't do that without getting of this mark. All right, which is the RFID chip, being the mark of the beast, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Now, when we read in the book of Revelation, the 14th chapter, everyone that receives of that RFID chip, being the mark of the beast, all right, they're going to receive the wrath of the Lamb, all right, the wrath of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, and they'll have their part in the lake of fire, being fire and brimstone, man. When the Lord rains nuclear fire upon this place, all right, those that receive that RFID chip, they'll take part in that, man. All right, so they don't tell you about the judgment to come if you receive of it, man. Okay. But anyways, going into the word mark here. All right, it's the Greek word charagma. Yep, it's the Greek word charagma. It says a stamp and imprinted mark, thing carved, sculpted, graven, worked. So this is something that's going to be physically, all right, inserted in you. This is something that's going to be physically put underneath your skin, man. All right, carved inside of you, right? It says, going down to the Strong's definition, it says a scratch or etching, stamp as a badge of servitude or sculpted figure, statue, graven mark, right? So this is really a badge of servitude, and this goes back into the law, okay? This goes back to the law of a Hebrew servant. Let's grab this in the book of Exodus. I believe it's the 20th chapter. All right, so this is what this devil is implementing. All right, this is Exodus chapter 20 and verse, maybe it's 21. Yep, this is Exodus 21 and 4. It says, if his master have given him a wife. All right, so this is going into the law of a Hebrew servant, right? If his master have given him a wife and she have borne him sons or daughters, the wife and her children shall be her master's, and he shall go out by himself. And if the servant shall plainly say, I love my master, my wife, and my children, I will not go out free, right? So he loves it, okay? He doesn't want to leave his children, his wife, and so on and so forth. And we can look at this spiritually. So the people that love their lives here, all right, who care about keeping their lives and the comfortability that they have, all right, they're going to have this mindset. It says this mindset of wanting to stay here, okay, or wanting to do everything that they can to continue on and things to go back to normal for them. And the only way that they're pushing it out for things to go back to normal for you so that you can go back to your life as it was is receiving of these receiving of the jab and receiving of the RFID chip being the mark of the beast. But it says, and if the servant shall plainly say, I love my master, my wife, and my children, I will not go out free, meaning that I would rather be a perpetual slave unto you, right? Because I love what you provided for me and what you've given me, right? It says, then his master shall bring him unto the judges. He shall also bring him to the door or unto the doorpost, and his master shall bore his ear through within all, and he shall serve him forever. All right. So this is what happens. The master bores his ear with an awl. So this RFID chip being the mark of the beast is a badge of servitude, which is likened unto an awl. All right. Which is to show that you are a perpetual slave unto your master. Well, this is what's being done electronically via this RFID chip. Now, whether a person likes to, I don't look at it like I'm being a perpetual slave. Well, this is how Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai looks at it. All right. And you're going to receive of that judgment. So when we go back into that word mark in that revelation, when we go back to the root word, let me bring it right back up. All right, Revelation 13 and 16 again. We went into the word mark. It was the Greek word charagma. But when we go into the root of that Greek word, it goes back to karax, right? It says a pale or stake or palisade, a rampart. All right, so it's like those stakes. Okay, that like when you're building a fence, they stake it into the ground, that pointy piece of wood. Well, that's what a palisade is, and that's likened into what they're going to use. All right, that syringe. All right, to insert the RFID chip into you, right? But anyways, what I want to go into even deeper. All right, when you go into it says the root word here from karasso, to sharpen, to a point akin to this Greek word here. All right, and I'm gonna just click on it. It says grapho, right, to write with reference to the form of the letters, to write with reference to the contents of the writing. All right, so when we're looking at this spiritually, this RFID chip or this mark is going to have writings in it. Now those writings is what? The information, the data that is held on it, man. Okay, and that goes back to the clip. What did my man say? He said that on this ID, which is a prelude to the actual RFID chip, what are they going to have? Different info. They're going to have the whoever gave out the jab, okay, the date that it was given, all right, when you need to get your next jab, okay, all this information is going to be held on this ID card, but it's going to be inserted the same information as well as other information, your bank information, your health history, whatever the case may be, is going to be held on this RFID chip. All right, just like with the UPC codes that's on everything that you buy. All right, whenever the UPC code has all that information, and the RFID chip has all that information as well on it, man. So this is just a prelude to the same thing. And what they're doing is seeing how people are going to respond and how they need to make adjustments. Okay, well, these people in this area, they're going to resist. We're going to need more military might in this area for when we push it out, for when the resistance comes. These are all things that are being tested out. And a lot of people aren't with this, man. All right, just looking at the comments here. It says, all part of the new control mechanism. How can anyone not see this? They couldn't even isolate the virus, but want to vaccinate us. Never, ever. In fact, they shouldn't even try, or I might snap them in half. It says, remember when all of those crazy conspiracy theorists warned of this years ago? Refuse the max. Don't take it under any circumstances. All right. So, hey, this is the narrative, man. Nobody's with this. It says the politicians want a civil war. There is going to be an insurrection or an uprising against the government pursuant to 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter, man. So, hey, man, hey, people aren't with this thing, man. But, hey, I just wanted to bring out that information, showing that these things are just a prelude to the RFID chip being the mark of the beast being rolled out. All right. So having that being said, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakakodash, the honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect, pushing out this word in all sincerity and in truth. With that, I'm going to say shalom.